Welcome to episode 1 of How I Topped the CPALE. Thank you so much for being here, and today's topic will be going over my review timetable, or basically how the whole review season looked like for me. So to start, I actually ended up taking the whole 2024 for my board review, both unofficial and official, and here's why. Beginning with my last semester of undergrad. So I come from USC, or the University of San Carlos, and how they do the last semester of our BSA course is it actually is this thing we call IRC, or Integrated Review Center. And what this basically does is that it essentially covers the whole coverage of the board exam. So it's like a refresher of all the topics we've learned in the previous years. And so we really study 6 out of 7 days a week, a standard 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. with one subject of the board exam per day. And it's a bit more hectic, I think, compared to the usual review center schedules because we really take full days of classes, and oftentimes when we get home or after the lectures end, we really don't have time to go over other things in depth before we start again a new topic the next day. So it was a really fast-paced environment, kind of like go, go, go. IRC lasted around 6 months actually. So that began on January 9 of 2024 and it went all the way until May 22, 2024. But it helped and it kind of served as an official review season, and it could be used by those who wanted to use it as such. So a little fun fact actually, because before, when the graduation dates were still around March, there would be batches who would actually graduate in March and take the board exam right away in May. So they would no longer enroll in review centers and they choose to self-study for the remaining time in between because IRC to them was already their official board review. But now, since the graduation dates are still more or less at the end of June, that means that there's a few months in between until the nearest window, which is October, and so a lot of people do decide to enroll in review centers. And for me, that's also what I did. Afterward, the official review season amongst review centers actually began around June 3, 2024. But I didn't graduate until the end of June, so I decided to take the month of June just having online classes because I was here in Cebu and I did not yet go to Manila. And during this time, I would watch the pre-recorded lectures as they were uploaded on the portal. And to be very honest, I barely watched anything. I focused on 3 out of the 6 subjects, so mostly FAR, AFAR, and Audit were my choice. And then I didn't really watch the Maths, RFBT, or Tax videos at first. I did kind of neglect them, to be honest. But when I finally started the official review season face-to-face, I came to Manila and began it on July 1, 2024. And so from then on, all the way until October 19, so for 4 months, I did the full review with afternoon classes for my face-to-face lectures. And then the supposed date for the CPALE, as we all know, was October 25 to 27. But then Baguio Christine came around and absolutely no one expected it. So the exam got postponed, and for around 2 weeks they did not offer a new rescheduled date, so everyone was kind of left hanging, and probably a lot of people would try to pick themselves up, continue where they left off. But as for me, I actually really lost my momentum. So for around 2 weeks after that, I didn't study. I actually went on a trip with my family. I took the time to kind of de-stress and find myself back. It was kind of confusing because I remember I felt like I already took the exam, but in fact it never happened. And it was only on November 4 when I started getting back into full-on review and full-on studying by myself, and that lasted for about a month until December 5, and then the actual board exam happened on December 6, 7, and 8. So unexpectedly, the whole 2024 really became my board review year. And so the time I spent in my official review season ended up becoming 6 months instead of the standard or usual 5 months. So here I've laid a little Gantt chart just to illustrate how the year looked like for me. Now I understand that different people can really have different review timetables. So that would depend a lot on first what school you come from and the things that they offer during undergrad. Perhaps if they offer a semester like the one we had or other options for their students. And secondly, it would also depend on the review center you enroll in, if you do decide to go into one, and the schedules and pacing that they have plotted out for their reviewees. So there's no standard answer to this, of course, and I think one of the things I really want to highlight is that I don't think it's about how long or how short of a time you study. There are those who can study for very quick, like just a few months, and be able to really maximize it and make the most out of their time and deliver the same results. However, there are also others who need more time or who really want to give their all just to make sure they build better confidence in themselves and also to make sure they have no regrets. And that is completely okay. In fact, I think nowadays double review and even triple review is getting more and more common because other review centers are starting to offer packages of review that start as early as from undergrad. So though I haven't been through any of those, and though I cannot also vouch for how well that can be balanced, I think that a lot of people are choosing these options nowadays, and the nice thing about it is that there are really different paths for you to take depending on what kind of student you are and what kind of learner you are. So the possibilities are endless, and if you're someone who is still planning the review or continuing to plan it as you go through these days we have until the May or October 2025 CPALE, then I hope this could serve as a base or as a point of reference for you in figuring out how the review period should go and should look like. So that is it for my review timetable in this short episode, and in the next one, I'll be going over my daily routine as a reviewee in the normal day-to-day review season that I have. And of course, if this helps in any way, or if there are other people you know who might need it, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is a wholly 100% voluntary thing, so no obligations and no force here whatsoever. But it would really mean the world to me, and I'd really appreciate it if this could get out to more people who might need it. So in any way that you can, and if you're willing, please do feel free to share. I'll see you in the next episode, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great day today. Bye-bye!